Today is February 17th, 2021. You are watching the Fightlete Report news segment. Make sure to check out the weekly news segment. Subscribe at YouTube. Just hit the subscribe to YouTube channel. Just hit the button below. And I'm your host, Sean Lennon. Well, to kick things off, Saturday, April 10th, 2021, we learned that UFC will broadcast once again on ABC Network. Obviously, UFC had the pleasure of doing that back in early January when they posted the they broadcasted the Calvin Kattar and Max Holloway versus Kattar fight back in January. So this will be the second time they'll be broadcasting simultaneously on ESPN Plus and ABC. UFC's choice to headline is Paulo Costa versus Robert Whittaker. Unfortunately, that fight is already targeted for April 17th, 2021, Fight Night on ESPN Plus. And Costa's team is now refusing to accept the offer and the revised date. Robert Whittaker responded they're ready on either date. He said April 10th, April 17th, tomorrow we are ready. Doesn't matter to him. It looks like the fight will stay originally when it was supposed to be scheduled on April 17th as of now. Heavyweight Stephan Struve announced his retirement from UFC. The Dane heavyweight was suffering from vestibular issues stemming from his ear. We know that he said that that this is the reason why he retired. The extreme intensity I have to put my body through in training camp to get ready for fights, I just can't do anymore. At this juncture, I realize it's time to hang up the gloves for good and put my health and family first. I've battled a long career through multiple injuries, including a broken jaw and my heart condition. Pushing forward and training hard without listening to my body would be asking for real trouble, in my opinion. He said this via Twitter and Instagram. Stephan Struve, of course, has been in UFC for quite some time, dating back to 2008. And here in 2021, we wish him best of luck in his future endeavors from the Fightlete Report. Kamaru Usman and George St. Pierre are talking about the upcoming fight that was supposedly proposed on Usman's fight, said he'd like to fight George. George St. Pierre said to go back and give 3 months of my life in a training camp to get a win over Kamaru Usman doesn't get me motivated. St. Pierre recently told Sportsnet 590 The Fans, The Good Show, I don't think there's anything that would motivate me to get back to competition right now. I'm not sure. We know about him and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Supposedly, there was a rumored fight between the two announced at Kenny Florian's podcast. But as of now, Kamaru Usman will not be taking on George St. Pierre in the future in regards to George St. Pierre's latest comments. George Masvidal wants to resurrect George St. Pierre and break his face. St. Pierre was previously interested in coming out of retirement to challenge UFC lightweight Khabib Nurmagomedov. However, President Dana White recently took the fight off the table, reportedly. George St. Pierre, the former UFC welterweight champion, turns 40 this May. Kamaru Usman, who defeated Gilbert Burns last Saturday, has his manager and Jorge Masvidal's manager are hyping him up to be possible coaches for the upcoming season after Usman says he's interested in fighting Masvidal in a rematch next. This according to MMA Mania.com. Both the managers of Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman both tweeted out Malik Kalal and also Kamaru Usman's manager as well. So interesting to note that we'll see if that happens. And of course, George St. Pierre has declined the challenge to Kamaru Usman. So we'll have to see what happens with the UFC welterweight champion after his recent victory over Gilbert Burns as well. Abdel Alaziz is Kamaru Usman's manager, who's also been hyping up the possible fight between him and Masvidal after the next season of Ultimate Fighter, where they would be serving as the coaches. Dana White hopes to have fans back in arenas this summer during the COVID-19 pandemic, but only sellouts after hearing of the Las Vegas Knights and NHL team plans to allow fans this season. He said, I got plans too, but I'm not doing a percentage. I want to sell out. It's too nice over here at the UFC Apex. I like it here. I said on ESPN the other day that I was optimistic by this summer we could be doing it either in Florida or here, meaning Las Vegas. Dana White told the media via MMA Junkie during a UFC 258 post-fight presser. LFA celebrates its 100th anniversary event this Friday on UFC Fight Pass LFA 100, featuring an LFA title fight for the vacant LFA title. Of course, Jimmy Flick He's the one that went ahead and went to UFC, so he leaves a vacant title in UFC right now. We know that the vacant title will be contended at LFA 100 between two of the top contenders in Legacy Fighting Alliance when Victor Altamirano takes on Nate Smith at LFA 100 for the LFA vacant flyweight title. That is going to be the main event of their 100th event. It started in 2017, now 2021, reaching 100 events, and it'll be airing live on Fight Pass this Friday night. Of course, we'll be covering more LFA action as we continue here on the Fight Report as well, so stay tuned to Fightlete.com. Then Mike Perry takes on Daniel Rodriguez April 10th at UFC Fight Night on ABC in the welterweight division. Mike Perry originally said he wanted to step up and go up to middleweight to challenge guys like Mike Daniel Darren Till and among others. Says that, and Robert Whittaker, but says that he will be fighting at welterweight April 10th, UFC Fight Night on ABC. According to MMAmania.com, a rematch between Jimmie Rivera and Pedro Munhoz has been rescheduled to go down in the upcoming UFC Vegas 20 event on February 27th. Now, Pedro Rivera contracted COVID-19, and as the fight was scheduled for UFC 258 last Saturday, it had to be postponed, and it'll go down at UFC Fight Night 20 on February 27th on ESPN+. Colby Covington says he's not fighting Edwards or George Masvidal next. According to MMAmania.com, the UFC welterweight Colby Covington is ranked number 2 at 170 pounds, with Leon Edwards as number 3 and George Masvidal at number 4 right behind him. This will make him a prime candidate for either fighter, which may explain why promotion president Dana White was trying to book Covington versus Edwards after Khamzat Chimaev was shelved indefinitely. I guess Chaos did not get the memo, as he says, I don't know what they're talking about. He told Submission Radio, that's just him talking. I'm not doing charity business no more. It's not my fault Edwards hasn't fought in 2 years. There's people from England fight all the time and during the pandemic. They're not scared to fight, so I'm not doing charity for this guy who hasn't fought in 2 years. He's irrelevant. He's beat a bunch of bums, and I'm not doing it for charity. Dana White has been positive on Maycee Barber's future after her loss to Alexa Grasso, coming up short against Roxanne Modafferi, and now Grasso after UFC 258. White is still not losing faith in Barber's future in the game. Of course, the young, attractive fighter still has a lot to offer. She's a savage, says Dana White. She's one of the most ambitious and toughest young women that I've ever met. During the UFC 258 press conference, he put her over, saying, so I expect nothing but big fights from her. She's a baby still. She's young, and she's got nothing but time. And at only 20 years of age, we'll have to see what Maycee Barber will bring in her next fight. He says, I know she's put on unbelievable pressure on herself to be champion before John Jones. It's good to set goals for yourself, but she's a baby. She's got nothing but time, and she's only going to get better, says Dana White. Well, this is our weekly edition of the Fightlete Report News. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Click subscribe on the Fightlete YouTube channel if you haven't already. Head over to Fightlete.com for exclusive MMA articles. All of our content is up there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. We are kicking it, man. We got a lot going on. So if you want to stay tuned, also at Fightlete on Instagram, at Fightlete Twitter, original posts will be on there as well coming out this week. And make sure to check out UFC Fight Night this Saturday night. Blaze versus Lewis, and we will have a pre-fight remote podcast as well from home. So stay tuned, guys. I'm your host, Sean Lennon. Take care.